going on, Jerome's? It is mock draft season, and NFL.com's lad Zierlein, one of the most respected names out there in the mock draft sphere, released his version 1.0, and the Vikings, they don't go in the direction that you would think, but also I'm mad at the pick, and it does make a ton of sense, especially since the Vikings have a ton of cash to play around in free agency, can suture up the interior offensive line, interior defensive line, etc., and we need to get to the spot where it's just taking BPA, best player available, regardless of position, and just go from there. Well, we need to be that squad. So it really, I always respected the Ravens, right? Where you had Ozzie Newsome, Eric DeCosta, they're always drafting in the late 20s plus, and either they would trade down, get a ton of picks, or just get dudes. Especially in that front seven, especially along the offensive line. They were just always getting dudes. And plus, they would let their players walk, and they would load up on comp picks, and they would do it again, over and over and over again. And even more than the Patriots, because Belichick, frankly, at times was not a great GM, especially drafting receivers. Out of here, man. Anyways, but Lance Zierlein, NFL.com, Cam Ward 1, Abdul Qadir 2. That definitely could have some precedence if Myles Garrett indeed does get traded, which probably is going to be. Giants pass on Shador, take his teammate Travis Hunter. Then Will Campbell, the Patriots, getting some protection for Drake May. Will Johnson to the Jaguars. I kind of like it. I do kind of like him and Tyson Campbell. Let's go. Shador falls to the Raiders at 6. This could be a spot, too, where maybe Shador and Dion just say, he's not playing anywhere else except for Las Vegas, which, I don't know, star power, traction. Yeah, I think that could work out there. Shador, Brock Bowers, and Jacoby Myers, maybe a little something to go in there. 7, the Jets taking Ashton Jeanty. Why? Why? I don't know. Breece Hall is kind of a stud, but I don't know. Tyler Warren goes to the Panthers. Bryce Young gets that big-time target. Tyler Warren's amazing, man. It's a really good tight end draft. Mikael Williams, Georgia's always got dudes, man. Kelvin Banks, thanks, going to the Bears. Banks and Wright make a nice tackle duo. Mason Graham going to San Francisco. How did we let this happen? How? So 49ers is probably going to cut Javon Hargrave. Wait, no, they are cutting him. I think John Lynch announced that. So Mason Graham goes to the 49ers. For shame, everyone. Walter Nolan going to the Cowboys. I like this one a lot, where I think this is the highest I've seen Nolan in a mock draft. I think that he's a huge crush of mine at 24. Also, the Cowboys probably losing Osa Odighizuwa in free agency, which I would not mind on the Vikings at all. The pride of UCLA. Let's go. 13. Jalen Walker going to the Dolphins. Membu going to the Colts. Good to get some offensive line in front of Anthony Richardson or whoever the hell is going to be quarterback. Mike Green goes to the Falcons. I kind of like that a lot because Mike Green, he's undersized. Do not care at all. Dude just gets buckets. He can play the damn game and gets after the quarterback's ass. Falcons definitely need that. Falcons can make some sense for a Myles Garrett trade if they include Kyle Pitts and Kirk Cousins. Allow Kurt to go to Cleveland with Stefanski. Although I think Falcons have to eat a lot of his contract. Yeah, Booker going to the Cardinals. A little bit of protection for Kyler Murray. First true guard off of the board. Tet falls all the way to the Bengals. I don't see Tet falling that far, but I don't know. But Bengals do get a replacement for T. Higgins, probably leaving in free agency. They got Luther Burden, the third, LLB3, as well as JSN, your two receivers moving forward. I feel like they're kind of done with DK. Yeah. Scorton goes to the Buccaneers. I really love Scorton. Now, Zierlein is in Houston, so maybe there's a slight bias towards Texas A&M guys with that whole East Texas vibe. Don't really know, but I mean, Texas A&M's got some. Walter Nolan was at Texas A&M for a while. Plus, Shamar Stevens, Shamar Turner, so all the Shamars at Texas A&M. College Station, baby. Let's go. Colson Loveland going to the Broncos. I like this pick a lot. Bo Nix getting a tight end. Also, stupid ass. Sean Payton getting basically Jimmy Graham 2.0. Go ahead. Matthew Golden going to the Steelers. Kenneth Grant going to the Chargers. I like this one. He's definitely a hardball guy. The Michigan ties. Kenneth Grant just plugging up the middle. It's going to be good, man. Shamar Stewart, the aforementioned one of the Shamars from Texas A&M, going to Green Bay. This is going to be good. Right. Vikings taking Jahdae Barron from Texas. Hook 'em, baby. I love it. Now, explanation ain't great, but with the Vikings currently holding just 3 picks in the 2025 draft, a first and 2 fifths, they do have a third-round comp pick. Nah. They need to hit in round 1 with terrific instincts and ball production, and Barron could quickly step in if necessary. Now, the Vikings could definitely have a need at defensive back if Beasley leaves the free agency, if Harrison Smith retires, as well as TBD what happens in the cornerback room in free agency. But Jahdae Barron is a guy that I absolutely love a lot. This is Zierlein's overview from NFL.com. Jahdae Barron, big nickel. Was in the right place at the right time throughout his impressive 2024 season. Barron played smothering coverage underneath, fueled by route recognition, footwork, and play strength. His instincts allow him to pounce on catch points or tackle pass catchers immediately from zone. However, he lacks recovery speed deep and can be a little too grabby at the top of the route in man. Tackle technique in run support is a shake inconsistent, but looks easily correctable. The size and tape work in his favor as a physical nickel who can be an early contributor and future starter with the potential to cross-train as a safety. And Barron is 23 years young, so a little bit older of a prospect, turns 24 in December, 5'11", 200, and he is that rover in the box. He's the man in the box all over the place. Box, slot, outside cornerback, where he played a lot in 2024. Plus, he stepped up the biggest in the biggest games, which is something that you love to see. 91.3 PFF coverage grade last year, which is good. Pretty good. 5 interceptions, 9 picks, a 33.1 quarterback rating when thrown at. You get 39.6 if you throw it straight into the dirt. So that's why quarterbacks make a mistake when they were thanking heaven for number 7. So I think overall, the defensive backs at the back end of the first round, Nick Emmanwori from South Carolina, super fired up safety, basically 6'2" Bob Sanders is a guy that I love. Barron has a do-it-all flavor to him, which obviously Flores would love, given his versatility on the back end. And then just pure corners on the outside, Benjamin Morris from Notre Dame, Sean Revell from East Carolina, the 2 injury guys. I mean, there's going to be a decent amount of secondary players at the back end of the first round if the Vikings go down that road. And, Barron, I wouldn't mind Barron at all, man. Like, he's super fun, super freaky defensive player. Egbuka goes to the Texans, reuniting with C.J. Stroud. It's kind of fun. And unfortunately, Tank Dell, they need some supplementation there. Connerly from Oregon goes to the Rams, hopefully suturing up their tackle issues. Emmanwori, the aforementioned one, goes to Ravens. Just mentioned the stupid Ravens. They sit back in the back end of the stupid first round. They just get these dudes, man. Emmanwori with Kyle Hamilton. Cat. Come on. Are you bleeping me? God dang, man. Come on. Isaiah Thomas from Florida State, cornerback going to the Lions. Thomas and Terry Arnold will make a nice duo going forward. Josh Simmons, a little bit of protections for Jaden Daniels. Trey Harris, the receiver from Buffalo. So you got the speed of Harris with the physicality. Keon Coleman, hopefully that pans out. James Pierce goes to the Eagles. That's just gross. Just gross, man. Like, James Pierce is going to be that dude. And Tyreek Williams goes to the Chiefs. Maybe Chris Jones is starting to phase out a little bit, but Tyreek Williams, a much different type of defensive tackle, more about stopping the run, getting a little bit more out of him as a pass rusher. I think is going to be imperative at the next level. But it's a really nice pickup at 32 overall. But overall, Vikings at 24. So if they check a lot of boxes in terms of O-line, D-line, because there still is a ton of talent, back here in the after the Vikings pick at 24. But Jahdae Barron, just in terms of, hey, we're going to take the best player available. I mean, make a pretty damn good case about Barron, and Flores obviously will love him with the defense. But that's it. Vikings take a versatile defensive back out of Texas. Hook 'em, baby. In Lance Zierlein's NFL Mock Draft 1.0. Let us know your thoughts, our thoughts, comment section. You guys know what to do. Skol. Production value.